This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, it's Stacy from Star Stuff Travel. Today I'm so excited because I have one of my very good friends and favorite suppliers, Lynette Granger here, doing an interview all about her time with Universal Parks and Resorts. Hey, Lynette.
Hey Stacy, how are you?
I'm doing good. I hope you're staying safe and healthy.
As sane as I can be working from home.
Isn't that the truth? But right now we're all buckling up and staying in and looking towards bigger, brighter days. So I'm excited to talk about some happy stuff, all about your time there in our favorite place, Universal Orlando. So tell us exactly, how did you get your start at Universal Orlando Resort?
So, Universal was always a company that I wanted to work for since I visited as a kid, way back when they had Nickelodeon Studios and you could get slimed. And when
Oh,
I
good.
graduated, yeah, remember that? So I just fell in love with the destination. I was a huge movie buff. I watched horror movies with my mom way before I probably should have watched horror movies. And Universal was known for their horror movies and the production studio. So I fell in love with the destination when I visited as a kid. And then when I graduated high school, I went to college at UCF's Rosen College of Hospitality Management, and I specialized in theme park management and definitely made sure to pigeonhole myself to work for Universal. And during that time, I held positions in sales, resort management, as well as entertainment positions at some neighboring theme parks. And I auditioned for Halloween Horror Nights 26 and started my career as a scare actor, and I kind of worked my way up from there.
Scare actor. That sounds pretty interesting. Tell us more about your career as a scare actor. What exactly did you do, and what does that even mean?
So, a scare actor is the performers at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights. If anybody that is listening has been to Halloween Horror Nights, their job is to scare the pants off of you. So, Halloween Horror Nights is Universal's Halloween event. It's very famous for being one of the premier Halloween events, and they hire a lot of people every year for that event. Because if you think about all the scare zones, all the houses, and all of those performers, they hire them on specifically to do those roles. And
Mm.
role in particular was to carry a chainsaw, and I was a bloody chainsaw cheerleader. And I can still start a chainsaw in a single pole.
Hey, that might come in very handy right now if it gets cold down there and you're stuck in the house if you have a fireplace. That sounds like some good use that you could use right now.
Well, it's April in Florida, so if it gets cold, we have some problems.
We have a problem. So did you always have a love for theme parks?
I did. So my love of theme parks came from a very early age. So I guess you could say, yeah, I always had a love for them. My father and my brother were thrill junkies and coaster junkies, and I remember how epic it was anticipating this year's vacation. Like, where are we going? Are we going to Disney, to Universal, even the obscure ones like Dollywood, Cedar Point? Where are we going? What are we going to ride? Planning it out. And back in the day, there wasn't like Google or YouTube, so it was kind of just speculating what the vacation was going to be. And then every year we would joke that it was kind of like National Lampoon, and my dad was Chevy Chase because the car trips, it was always a car ride. It was never booking a flight, and my dad was the cheapest way to do the vacation as possible and spend the most family time. So the breakdown in National Lampoon, it's a very real thing that happens to dads on vacations, can confirm.
That is amazing. That's hysterical. I also love how you dropped that little Easter egg of a word epic during your sentence there, that your epic vacation. So I feel like the fact that so many people are looking for those epic memories, it's just a fitting word to use with Epic Universe. And we won't get into all of that, but I just thought, wow, what a word. What a great word to explain a possible new theme park, right?
Oh yeah, I'm very excited to see what the future holds, and I'm excited for Epic Universe. I feel like the destination right now is already epic, and when we open back up, I feel like missing it enough is going to make it even more epic. And it's definitely something to look forward to. Pipeline Epic Universe is going to be epic.
Epic. So, what do you enjoy doing most at Universal Orlando Resort during your free time? Do you enjoy going there when you're not working?
So, surprisingly, yes. It's one of the things I was scared about. Am I going to hate coming here when I'm not working once I work here? And I just enjoy how laid back everything is. Like, I could go to Universal on my day off and just have a relaxed day checking out the theming of the different lands and the little Easter eggs that we have. My sister's a huge fan of Potter, so just taking her to the parks, she's 12, so taking her and just seeing her interact and her having the best time going from Diagon to Hogsmeade, that's amazing to watch. And just kind of bringing friends just as a, hey, let's go do this real quick. It's it's a lot of fun. It's still one of my favorite theme parks, and some things that I can't miss and that I would always do if you ask me to. I'll always go to Horror Nights with you. If you want to ride the Mummy, definitely checking out Hogsmeade and grabbing a butterbeer at Hogshead, and then meeting Guy Diamond if he's out and about, because he's always a good time.
And I love the fact that everything is laid back and it's really like a true vacation because there are a lot of different theme parks that are very scheduled and rigid and you can't break from what your routine is going to be. So the fact that you can go to Universal Orlando and if you have, a couple days, you can actually really take your time. And if you have the unlimited express pass, you can just, run in and go on all different attractions and rides. And it really makes a difference when when a family's looking for a true vacation.
Oh yeah, the laid back feeling is, I think, the best part of Universal. If you have the unlimited express pass, you can kind of take your time and go around the park. If you download the app, then you can kind of see what the wait times are, what the shows look like, and just truly relax. And then I always recommend ending the vacation with Volcano Bay, because with that Tapu Tapu, it's the most relaxing day I've ever had outside of just going to the beach and chilling.
Which is awesome. And when a family's looking for a vacation, they're looking for some kind of downtime. So it's really nice to be able to offer the best of both worlds.
Absolutely. The vacation.
Yes, absolutely. So I've got to just get into a little bit more of the HHN, the Halloween Horror Nights, because if with us, that's our favorite date time when I come down there, and I absolutely love Halloween Horror Nights. So I'd like to know, what do you think your favorite HHN house is and why?
Stacey, that's like asking me to choose my favorite child. That's a hard one. So yeah, I enjoy going to houses with Stacey. You mentioned that we go to Horror Nights every year. It's kind of our anniversary trip, because that's our first time hanging out was at Horror Nights, and it was your first time at Horror Nights. And
yeah,
you're a trip.
I was so scared.
You're a trip. So Stacey's the one that will push the stuff away, like the stuff that's hanging. She'll push it out of the way and try to peek around the corner to see what's there. So she's great to be by.
Hey, someone has to do it.
So she does it for you, so you don't have to. So since I can't throw it down to just one house, I'm going to say my top 5 is going to be the original house Scarecrow, the Ghostbusters house with you, Killer Clowns, American Horror Story, and then I have to go with Classic Monsters because classic monsters are that foundation for Universal. So it was really cool to see the house kind of honoring the humble beginnings.
I totally agree about the classic monsters as well. That was definitely one of my favorites. And it ties into, like you said, their foundation. It also reminds me of one of my favorite shows there, the horror and makeup show that talks about, the classic monster genre and, how their makeup's done and their special effects. So I would definitely recommend the horror and makeup show if anybody out there has not yet tried that.
It's such a hidden gem.
It really is. It really is. It's so great. And no matter how many times I've been there, it always makes me laugh and makes me jump every single time.
It's nice because you could go and see that show every time you come to visit and get a different experience from the performer. So I don't want to give anything away, but it is different every time you go to see it. And it's always hilarious. And it's so underrated. It's such a hidden gem. And of course, it's air conditioned. So that's a lot in Florida.
Yes, it's a win. Getting to be in air, getting to rest your feet, and enjoying your time while you're there. So let's circle back to HHN because I want to know which Halloween Horror Nights house scares you the most and why.
So I think it was 2017, the Scarecrow House that's in my top 5 for sure. Because in 2017, I worked at events as an assistant stage manager, and even being an assistant stage manager and seeing everything behind the scenes, Scarecrow still terrified me to the point that I was sweating. And we would do house walkthroughs as assistant stage managers just to check the sets. And I remember my colleagues would laugh at me and purposely put me first because I would just continuously yell, "Is this house over yet? I can't look at what I'm supposed to look at because I'm ready to black out." It was so terrifying because it was such a long, elaborate house with so many clever scares thrown into it. Like there was a part where a character would come from your left, from your right, and up top. There would be characters hidden where you wouldn't expect them to be. It was just so much, and it was so beautifully done that house I think is one house of the year for that year for great reason. It was so immersive, and I felt like true fear for my life, which is what you want from a horror night house. I'd say a close second to that though would be Dead Exposure Patient Zero, but that's because I have a very irrational fear of zombies. And Dead Exposure was a blacked out house. There were no lights, and then there would just be kind of like camera flashes, and then zombies would just kind of appear. So that, yeah, that was another one where I was like, "Is this house over yet? Please get me out of here."
But that sounds terrifying.
It was. It was kind of 2 years in a row of these very intense houses, but that was another one that people that I went to horror nights with consistently wanted to go to just so that they could watch me.
Oh man, I hope they bring that back at some point then. I'd like to see that, and maybe this time you can go first and push everything out of the way.
No, I go first with everyone else, Stacey. You're always going to go first.
I'm willing to make that sacrifice then. I'm willing to do that. So lastly, do you it's our 3rd anniversary. Yes, it's going to be our 3rd anniversary. So I am willing, especially this year, I'm willing to go through every house and push everything out of the way for you, my friend.
And it's a horror night gift, so it's going to be a big year. So let's make the most of it.
It's going to be amazing. It is going to be amazing. I'm very excited for that. And that's great. It's in the fall. We have something to look forward to, and it's going to be here. It's going to come as quickly as, Christmas does when you're looking forward to, spending that time. So it'll be amazing. And I'm happy to look forward to something. So
Absolutely.
lastly, do you have anything you would recommend to our viewers that they try next time they visit Universal Orlando Resorts down there by you?
So, since we're on the subject of horror nights, if you have not experienced horror nights because you are too afraid to, or you don't know if it's for you, I just want to say 3 years ago that was Stacy, and now she loves it. So I always recommend trying new things, trying horror nights. A lot of people also don't know that we do that Mardi Gras is something that's included in your park ticket, and that happens in the springtime. There's also select concerts on those nights. There's different types of food to try. And then during the holiday season, the entire resort transforms. So we really do the holiday season up really big. So I always recommend trying those events. The holidays are also included in a ticket. And if you're a fan of The Grinch, it's a timeless classic, and our entire Seuss Landing transforms for that. So that's magical. The Hogwarts Castle show during the holiday season is mind blowing. I could describe it to you till I'm blue in the face, but until you see it, it's hard to understand how incredible that really is. But
Agreed.
just on a regular, I always recommend that you download the official Universal Orlando app prior to your visit, that you can just see everything that our destination has to offer in attractions, the rider's guide, and the shows, so you can plan your day in advance. What's amazing to me might not be amazing for a family of four with young kids. So that's why I always recommend the Universal Orlando app, so you can kind of see what everything we have to offer. You can see the wait times, you can see the height requirements, and you can also order food from there. And of course, with any theme park, speaking of food, I recommend the dining plan. Definitely purchase that because it's going to save you money in the long run. And you have to try as many unique foods as you can. When you go to any theme park, you always have to try the foods that you can only get from that destination, because I feel like that's something special.
And I feel like there's a lot of really great places to eat in the parks, but also at City Walk and the resorts. Do you have a favorite place to eat yourself?
Ooh. So are we talking the entire destination or just City Walk?
The whole entire destination. I have mine. I'll tell you mine after you tell me yours.
I have a few. So in Universal Studios Florida, there is the Today Cafe, and they have these chicken sliders that are so delicious. They come on little biscuits. They got chicken breast. There's a pimento cheese in there, and it's amazing. And I
Mm.
miss them very much. So the Today
Aw,
Show Cafe is amazing. And then if you head over to Islands of Adventure, Mythos is voted the number one theme park restaurant for a very good reason. The ambiance and the food
agreed.
is incredible. Going over to City Walk, it's between Toothsome and Big Fire. I bounce back and forth between those two quite often. And then my favorite restaurant at a resort is Jake's American Bar
I
in
knew it.
Royal Pacific.
With the tomato soup.
It's so good. So the tomato soup also comes with a croissant grilled cheese that is so good.
Yum. That sounds delicious. I'm hungry now.
So what's yours?
It's definitely Big Fire. I am a huge Big Fire, just totally love it. I'm a huge fan. Every time we come down, we love to have the chili and the cornbread. But
Oh,
most of all, the s'mores. Where else can you go where they bring you a small little campfire where you can actually roast s'mores at your table with homemade marshmallows? It's crazy. And it's not just for kids, adults love it. Their food is amazing, their s'mores are amazing, and that is definitely our go-to place.
yes, yes, so good. When you come to visit for Halloween Horror Nights this year, we have to go to Big Fire together because that's one of my favorites.
It's a must for sure. So we have learned so much about Lynette, and we've learned a ton about Universal Orlando Resort down in Orlando, Florida. I know I'm excited as ever to get back down there and see you and visit, and can't wait to send our clients there. And I'd like to really thank you for taking the time out today to talk to us
Thank you.
all about yourself and your destination.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Stacey. I'm looking forward to welcoming your clients back once our gates are finally open again. And when I see you in the fall, I'm going to give you the biggest hug after quarantine's over.
Same here, friend. I can't wait to see you. You stay safe, and I'll talk to you soon.
Stay safe, wash your hands, and practice social distancing. So we
Take
can get
care.
everything open.
Yes,
Bye,
yes. The sooner the better. You take care.
You too.